This is The Laughter Effect, a podcast exploring how laughter supports well-being, connection, resilience, and joy. I'll be talking with people around the world who study, practice, and lead laughter as a way of caring for ourselves and each other. Let's slow down, breathe, and laugh together. Rachel Amar discovered her passion for laughter yoga during the pandemic after years in the corporate world left her feeling disconnected from her purpose. Following a powerful moment of self-reflection and training online, she became a certified laughter yoga instructor and embraced a new path focused on joy and well-being. Rachel began teaching both in person in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, and online, bringing laughter to people around the world. This is so cool. In 2023, Rachel won first place as the Canadian Laughter Championship. That's a thing. Rachel won for having the most contagious laughter in the country. Today, Rachel continues to inspire others through her warmth, energy, and the healing power of laughter. And you are going to get some of that today. Welcome to the show, Rachel.
Oh my God, what an introduction. I was like a little bit shy.
Oh, I love that. How do you feel about starting our chat with a little bit of a ho ho ha ha ha?
Let's do a ho ho ha 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 together.
Okay, we did. Let's do three times. Ho,
Ho
ho,
ho
ha,
ha
ha,
ha ha.
ho,
Ho ho
ho,
ha
ha,
ha
ha, ha. One more.
ha.
Ho,
Ho ho
ha,
ha
ha.
ha ha.
Yay! Awesome. I hope that those who are listening, that made you laugh, even if you're just thinking, what the actual is going on. Thank you for tuning in to this bizarre podcast that I hope makes you laugh. Rachel, I'm so excited that you are the first episode for this podcast because we have just like jumped right into friendship, right into laughter, right into, pulling off all the things that we wear in this world to try and fit in. And we're just like here as ourselves. So thank you so much and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so honored. Thank you for having me as your first guest. I'm kind of in shock.
Well,
I'm
hopefully,
honored.
hopefully you stick around.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be
I'm gonna
hilarious.
stick around as long as you want.
Yeah. Okay, one of the things I would love to learn from you and from future guests is how did laughter show up in your earlier life? Do you remember like laughter as a child, as a teen? Maybe like what laughter has meant to you before we kind of get into like what brought you here today?
I love that question. Well, fun fact, I have a twin sister, and when we laugh, it was always like double the laughter and echoing because we would laugh like the same tonalities, like we would end the laughter the same time. Like it was sometimes really freaky. I wanted to bring that up because laughter was filled in our childhood. My father is a very big, like goofy, clowny kind of guy, always plays jokes, puts Kleenex in his ears and nostrils and makes faces, like that type of dad, you know? Very fun, outgoing, silly, always an inner child. And I guess I inherited that from my dad and always laughed a lot. Like we would have sleepovers with our cousins, and my Moroccan aunts would be like, "Stop laughing so much. You're going to pee your pants." I'm like, "I already did." So laughter was filled in my childhood, and it brought me into the teenager and then the adult, the corporate Rachel. And I worked in corporate for 17 years, but let me tell you, it was a serious environment, but I always laughed at work, even if it was funny or not funny. And everyone was like, Rachel's our sunshine, like Rachel's the light of the office. And so when I would decide to quit my job after so many years, people were like, oh my God, like who's going to replace you? Who's going to laugh like you? You bring such a livelihood. So laughter has been part of my life. And it's, I guess, my gift. That's what I figured out.
Yeah, that's incredible because I think that's not the story for most people, right? But
No,
this is really who you are. You showed up
that's who I
laughing
am.
and eventually kind of found your way into doing this as part of a career. So,
Yeah.
can you share sort of how did you end up leading laughter yoga? I know part of your story, you left the corporate world, pandemic, all that jazz. Do you want to kind of share, as though like we're walking alongside you, how did you end up here?
Yeah, so basically during the pandemic, I got certified to become an instructor. Then I got super excited, started doing online classes, had my friends come and try classes on Zoom and stuff. And I was like, oh my God. And then the whole like the whole catalyst of all of what happened, the changes in my life was a vision board. I did a vision board workshop with my friend Jamie. She's called the Three Happy Twirls, a cancer survivor, an amazing girl. We did a vision board workshop together, and I put it in my office when I was working from home during the pandemic. And I always had laughter yoga on it. And then one day during the pandemic, I was so like in a dark place at my lowest. I'm like, you know what? It's time, Rachel. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Let's try something new. I got certified. Then on that vision board, there was beaches and stuff like that. I'm like, I need to get away from my normal environment, need to try something new. So like it was a lot of different changes, but I'm so proud that I went through the laughter yoga path because when I quit the corporate world, I'm like, I want to teach laughter to people and help people feel better. But my goal, and it still is my goal, is to do corporate workshops because I come from the corporate world and I know what it is to go to the day to day, the 9 to 5. Sometimes you just want to take your keyboard and you know what to do. You want to do with your keyboard. I want to help people, find little ways to find joy throughout the day. And that's why I'm so active also on social media because I want to put one video or one piece of content out every day. And whoever sees it, sees it. If they smile, then my purpose is pretty much done. But I kind of went in a full loop, but I just want to help people be happier, whether if it's for like 5 minutes, half an hour, online, in person, whatever it is. I just want to have an impact, and like people are gonna be like, that Rachel girl. Like when I leave this earth, they're gonna remember who Rachel Amar was. That's what I want. I want to leave a legacy.
You absolutely are. And your social media is hilarious. I
Oh,
love it
thank
so much. I cannot wait for people to follow you because, I mean, we had a little laughter session together last week, I think it was. And I was like, oh, I really like that Rachel girl. And then I looked at your social media and I was like, she is so funny. Like, you're so funny. And for people who are like new to laughter yoga isn't about like jokes or skits or anything, but Rachel's Instagram is. It is so funny. So,
it's a
yeah,
mixture of everything.
I just love it. And I love, your vulnerability and you're just like, I'm just gonna do the thing. Were
I
you
don't
always
care.
that way? Like, or
I
has
was
it been
always
something?
that way. I
Okay.
was always like no guard, go for it. Um, Kind of like a go-getter in a sense. And like I find that's the issue with most adults nowadays is they have such a front. They want to look perfect and like it's fun not to be perfect. It's fun to make mistakes. It's fun to wake up on your Instagram stories and just share like what happened on the weekend and was it good or not good. Like I just don't have a guard or a filter, and I wish more people were like that.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
Do you have any advice for people who are constrained in that, especially maybe if they came from the corporate world or maybe even a culture or an upbringing where, yeah, they felt like they really had to be contained in their expression? Do you have any
Yeah,
suggestions?
like I started surfing a few months back, okay? And there's a girl that this stayed with me, okay? I have to share this story. And I'm not gonna say her name because I don't want to divulge who she is, but she really left an impact. And I was like, oh my God, like I wish people were just more open. Anyways, so we're going out in the ocean, and she shared with me and the instructor, because it was like a semi-private class, said that morning she almost didn't show up because she didn't feel more beautiful enough, didn't feel like she was wearing the right bathing suit. She was all up in her head, afraid, all these thoughts. I'm like, girl, you first of all, you look beautiful in your bathing suit. And it's just the fact that people, their confidence has sunk. And I'm not the most perfect looking girl. I don't have the perfect body, but you know what? This is what you get. You don't like it, you can look the other way. You can unfollow me on social media. I don't care. So long story short, I told her, you shouldn't care what people think about your bathing suit. You shouldn't care what people think about your body. You shouldn't care what people are going to think when you're going to be in the ocean, not getting a wave. Who the hell cares? You don't need to go in the lineup. Stay in the white water like I do, like a kid, and I have a blast. It's all about having fun. If you're not having fun, I don't think you should be surfing. And she's like, oh my God, like I wish I was more like you. I'm like, you should stop giving you know,
Yep.
because people give too much and they're like restraining themselves, or like they're in this container of like anxiety, stress, depression, all that. It's terrible. So I just unleash the box and
Yeah.
that's it. I don't care.
Do you think that it builds on itself? Like, do you think the more that you don't care and the more that you put yourself out there, the more you just show up
Yes.
however you want, the easier it
Yes.
becomes?
Oh my God, yes. Like my husband is super shy, and I got him to start doing videos with me, and people are freaking out. They're like, "How? What did you do? How did he start doing videos with you?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a one take wonder. If we don't get the video, he's not redoing it. That's the only condition." So everyone's freaking out that he's like this introvert becoming an extrovert, and I feel like I'm rubbing off on my husband after so many years of being married with him. But yeah, the more you let go, the better you feel.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a proof, just let it go and have fun.
Right. And I think everybody wants that. Like
Yeah.
everybody inside of themselves wants to show up fully as themselves. And I think it's that, will I be embraced? What about the people who have known me as this other person? And I mean, I deal with this all the time. I feel like I'm evolving as a person all the time. And I'm always like, well, how is this still going to fit with like the other things I do? Will I still be hired for these professional things? And, but I'm with you now. I'm like, who cares? This is
Who
my
cares?
life.
Who cares? Do you follow Gary Vee?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like my idol.
Yeah.
He's the epitome of he doesn't give a F
Yeah.
about anything. He motivates me. Sometimes I see his posts like, just post it. What are you waiting for? Like, who cares? What people are gonna unfollow you, people are gonna stop being your friends. And I'm like, this guy's amazing. Like he motivates me to post whatever I want to post. And
Yeah.
if I feel good about it, I'm gonna do it. I don't care anymore. Like you don't like what I post, you cannot follow me. You don't like what I portray or promote, then you don't have to like it. You don't even have to watch it. You could just mute me.
Yeah. Well, I think you're that inspiration for people too, because when you look at what you post, there's a part of us, if we imagined ourselves posting that, we might think, oh, that's really scary. But seeing you do it is like, okay, she
Just
keeps
do it,
showing
man.
up. Yeah.
Just keep showing up. And like
Yeah.
one video might be funnier than the other. One might not be as funny, but it doesn't matter. You need a balance, in life.
Yeah.
And I think when you live with that, with a life that you're aligned with, because before I felt like I was just living to make money and surviving. Now it's like I'm not, I'm not a millionaire, but I feel like I'm rich in so many other ways because I'm happy inside and I'm happy outside. And I think that really shows when you're happy inside and you're happy outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's really interesting because we both sort of took part of our career into laughter. And I know for me, the first moments where I was like, wait, like laughter is something that I can get paid for. Laughter is like a service. Laughter is something people see as valuable. And then those first few times where you have those gigs and you're like, yo, this is the gold. Like
This
not in
is the
a
goal.
money sense, but in a I get to show up and spread laughter. And
How cool
especially,
is that?
yeah, in corporate spaces. Can you share a little bit about your experiences running workshops, working with groups, and sort of, maybe some of the challenging, cringy moments, and then some of the things that you like love that came from it?
Yeah, well, I've had so many like really amazing moments and then some other cringer moments. I'll start with maybe a cringer moment because it made me laugh. The cringer moment. So when I started doing in-person classes, which I've stopped doing because I didn't have as many students coming weekly, and I felt like it was expensing my energy. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'll do online once a week and in person, like on demand. Anyways, so I was doing classes weekly at Natra Cabana, this beautiful boutique hotel in Cabarete in Puerto Plata. And I was waiting for students to arrive, and this couple comes in the yoga temple. And the man goes to me, is this a yoga class? I'm like, yes, it's a laughter yoga class. We're going to be doing this together today. Very different concept. So I started explaining it to him what it is. I'm like, it's not like your typical yoga class. Yes, we'll use the mat at the end for a little meditation, but it's more breathing and laughter. He's like, what do you mean? Like super serious. What do you mean laughter? I'm like, yeah, we do breath work, and then I guide you through some laughter exercises. Like he looks at his wife. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm going to the bar and I'll wait for you there. And I'm like, sir, that's totally fine. I respect your decision. Then I looked at his wife and I'm like, would you like to stay for the class? And she's like, of course. So he left. He was all like borderline not happy and almost pissed off. I was like super uncomfortable. But then I had the most amazing one-on-one class with his wife. And I told her, I wish your husband stayed because we could have done some couple laughter exercises. You guys could have bonded. But you know what? I don't ever force anybody to do my classes because I don't want anyone to feel like uncomfortable or forced to do something. But I wish he gave himself a chance because that man would have probably left a different person after that class. So
Yeah.
that was one of the cringiest moments of my career.
I have one of those. I'm sure anyone who's led laughter is thinking of the person and their face because we've all had that moment where we're just like, this person is not receiving what I'm giving.
Yeah, that was the cringiest moment, but I'm happy the show had to go on and I continued. So he left. That was that. And then the highlight of my career so far is corporate workshops. I've done quite a few. I wish I could do more, to be honest, because that just gives me fuel in my butt. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I love those. So I've done one for RBC, the bank. It was an online workshop and there was people across Quebec, like in, I don't know, all different branches, in person, at home. It was so cool. And they had people popping up in different areas during the workshop. And people were also writing comments at the same time. And they're like, we can't believe we're actually doing this. This is so fun, but weird at the same time. And it just was so epic that they gave me the chance to do that with all the reps across, I guess, Quebec. I was like, this is so cool. And at the end, people were really like happy. And it was
Yeah.
just half an hour. It doesn't take much, right? To just change the vibe and the frequency of somebody. And
Yeah.
so that was my highlight so far.
I love that.
Yeah.
Who was your trainer and how did you meet them?
It was Liliana DeLeo from Montreal, fantastic woman. I met her through my friend, oh my God, I have a blank. Joyful Connections. Why can't I remember her name? She's gonna be like, what's wrong with you? Okay, hold on a second. It's really bothering me. I'm having
Absolutely.
a really bad brain fart.
That's
Hold on.
okay.
Joyful Connect. Eileen, I'm sorry. I had a brain fart. Eileen was a girl that I was in touch with, and she got trained from Liliana. And she's like, Rach, you have to have your training with Liliana. And so I did it online with Liliana.
I love that. And was there any phrases or anything from that training or from that teacher that has really like stuck with you as you've continued on? And maybe there's been times in your life where you didn't do as much of it, but then you got back into it. And maybe it's from the trainer, maybe it's just someone else in the world where you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna pick this up again or do it more. Any phrases or teachings?
No phrases in particular, but what stuck with me with Liliana is that she's just very composed, but also does it like super well. And she also has been the key motivator as to why I want to do corporate because she's done so many of them. She also did a TEDx talk on laughter.
Oh, wow.
So she's very like very motivating and I was very grateful. And she's been wanting to train me as a master trainer for years. And me and Eileen were supposed to do it and we never did. But that's why I'm hesitant on doing it with somebody else because I feel like I need to stick with my Liliana in a sense, you know?
Yeah.
But she's very special, a very special woman, and I'm very, very blessed that I got to do the training with her to become an instructor.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. One of the things I love so much about the laughter sessions is I feel like it's so transformative for people, not just in, oh, we're happy together, but in seeing people bond with each other, seeing people cry, weep, just like
Yes.
really emotional.
Yeah.
What are some ways that you've seen your laughter sessions like really affect people in an emotional way?
Oh, that's a good question. I have a really good one. I used to do also family sessions in person. I used to do like like one Sunday a month, I used to do a family laughter yoga class. And this family came with their 4 kids and we started doing the laughter and one of the kids started crying like nonstop. And he goes to his mom, why am I crying? And I'm like, actually, that's really good. I explained to the mother and the son, you're having a catharsis moment. This is amazing. That's what we do as instructors. Whatever you had inside is coming out and it's not serving you anymore and you're letting it out. And that's amazing. That's a true like testimony of what laughter yoga can bring to the table. And the mom and the son were hugging. She was comforting him. I was comforting them. And like I still have the whole situation in my head. And it was just beautiful seeing a
Wow.
kid having a catharsis moment.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important that we create these intentional laughter moments in our life? Like laughter yoga, for those who haven't attended before, you don't have to really be laughing. Part of it is just making the laughter noises, going through the motion. Why do you think it's important that we do that in our lives?
Because people have, like I said earlier, have become so serious. Everyone is so stressed, like stressed to the max. I think it's a hike or a peak of stress, I think, in our world. And everything is triggering. You open the TV, the news, let's say you watch the news, it's negative. You open your phone, there might be something again that's negative, that's triggering. And people are just on the rat race. And I feel like they're not laughing as much as they used to. And so with laughter yoga, you don't need laughter to chance. You let it, you actually practice it and you actually allow yourself to laugh. And it might be weird at first, but the benefits you get from that are extraordinary. I don't think I've done anything else that gives you the same feeling type of feel after a class. I used to do an hour class. I brought it down to half an hour because I find half an hour just gives you the perfect hit of endorphins and dopamine. You don't need an hour straight because I would see people like starting to like get really tired. So I feel like you just need 15 to 30 minutes. It's scientifically proven that after 15 to 30 minutes, you have all kinds of benefits coming to your body and your face, your body, everything transforms. So I think people have to give themselves more more laughter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you, other than laughter yoga, what's something that you think people could do as like a takeaway to just bring more joy into their life this week?
So I think movement for me has had a huge impact. So if you can move every day, I'm not saying go to the gym and do an hour workout a day, but go out for a walk. Um, Ground if you can outside. Take off your socks and your shoes and go put your feet in grass or even snow. I have a friend that grounds in the winter.
Yeah. Shout out to
Emily,
Miriam because if she listens to this, I immediately thought of her and her sweet, beautiful feet in the snow. Yeah, I've
you
got a friend
see?
who does it all the time. Yeah.
Me too. My friend Emily. Emily, always grounding with her kids in the snow. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, just movement because when you're moving, you're letting go of whatever you're holding on to. And then when you're moving, you're changing your frequency. The blood is circulating. You're going, you're doing something. Because it's easy just to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. You're not moving and you're not changing your frequency right there. You're staying still and stagnant. So think about it when you're moving, you're bringing your frequency and you're moving your blood and your blood flow and all that. So if you could move every day, I think you're going to live a very long life.
I love it. Well, thank you for helping us with our frequency today. Because I
No,
know if
you're
I was
very
listening to
welcome.
this, I'd be like bopping around. Okay, to end the show, I want to ask you to finish this sentence. Okay. So,
Oh,
Rachel,
okay. Mhm.
laughter is,
I don't want to swear.
you can swear.
Okay, wait. Be amazing. That's my sentence.
I love it. Laughter is beep amazing. For everybody tuning into this first episode, thank you for making it to the end with us. May this laughter ripple into your day and remind you that joy is just a laugh away.